Here's your wrestling news for January 9th, 2021. And your headlines for today include Roman Reigns vs. Adam Pearce set for WWE Universal title match at Royal Rumble. Major face turn for WWE Smackdown superstar Shinsuke Nakamura. More details on Damian Priest coming to WWE Smackdown. Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle squash real-life beef. What happened backstage revealed. Pull within AEW to sign Tessa Blanchard. It hurt my feelings. WWE Hall of Famer on Vince McMahon removing him from WWE Introduction. Why Jim Ross resumed his work with WWE. When AEW was told about Brodie Lee's illness. WWE wrestler was told he can't be trusted with a live microphone. Big disappointment for WWE fans in India. Sonya Deville's new role on Smackdown, and more. We're kicking off today with Smackdown news as Universal Champion Roman Reigns' next challenger has been decided. On the show, Reigns started by saying he actually likes Kevin Owens, but blamed what happened to him the prior week on Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce. Accusing Pearce of not doing his job, things got tense, and later in the show, Paul Heyman used his sway to put Pearce in the gauntlet match main event. The match saw Rey Mysterio eliminate Sami Zayn before Shinsuke Nakamura made Mysterio tap to the armbar. The King of Strong Style then fended off King Corbin as well as Daniel Bryan, and it seemed that it had been Reigns vs. Nakamura at the Royal Rumble. That wasn't the case as the Tribal Chief and Jey Uso destroyed Nakamura, and after knocking out the reluctant Pearce, dragged him over the downed Japanese superstar, giving Pearce the win. The gauntlet match is always a solid way to begin an interesting story, and a match that WWE tends to do right, and last night was no different. Now it'll be Adam Pearce who challenges for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble, and though he's a 5-time NWA World Champion, it's been 6 years since he had a match, a fact that Roman Reigns knows very well, and on Twitter, the Tribal Chief said Pearce should enjoy his trip to the Island of Relevancy. It'll be an interesting match to say the least, and what do you make of this angle? Let us know below. Shinsuke Nakamura had a very strong showing in that gauntlet match despite not winning a shot at Roman Reigns. In arguably his best performance since his main roster call-up, last night was a return to form for him after years of falling off the radar and accusations of phoning it in. It's been reported that WWE is Nakamura's retirement plan, and on Smackdown, the 40-year-old superstar proved he can still excel when he wants. Smackdown did so much to help forward the blue brand as it gave Adam Pearce a story as the clear underdog against Reigns, as well as built to a potential feud for the future. In the process of his incredible gauntlet match performance, Nakamura turned babyface in the process, meaning he could be an excellent choice to face the Tribal Chief down the line. Fans of Nakamura have been wanting this for so long, as although he impressed in his tag team with Cesaro, it's being a single star that could elevate him to the next level. Could the King of Strong Style be the one to dethrone the Tribal Chief? WWE certainly teased a possible feud last night. Pearce and Nakamura aren't the only ones seeking the Universal title, as we previously reported that Daniel Bryan is the favorite to win the Men's Rumble match. But now a new report has suggested a different superstar will win. According to a source who spoke with Sportskeeda, Big E is the favorite to win the men's match, giving him the world title push fans have been wanting for years. If this is the case, it means the reigning Intercontinental Champion would presumably lose his title between now and WrestleMania, though it's unclear who to. Their report also indicated that Raw's Keith Lee was originally planned to win the Rumble match, but Vince McMahon now feels the former NXT champion isn't ready for such a big push yet. But who do you want to see win the Men's Rumble match? Are you rooting for Bryan, Big E, Lee, or someone else? Let us know in the comments below. Speaking of Smackdown, Seth Rollins was moved to the blue brand in last year's draft, which was reportedly done to keep him away from Riddle, who was drafted to Raw due to real-life heat between the two. That heat is now reportedly a thing of the past, as according to Fightful, who spoke to several superstars at the 2020 Survivor Series pay-per-view, the feeling is that both men have buried the hatchet, despite Rollins refusing to look at the King of Bros during their Survivor Series match. Post-match, it was noted that both men met backstage to discuss their issues, and that after these issues were rectified, that they'd be open to working with each other in the future. Although their beef was made public when the former Universal Champion was a guest on WWE's Watch-Along for the draft, and he said, I've got no interest in facing Matt Riddle at any point in my career, so he can go to Raw as far as I'm concerned. True to form, Riddle was drafted to Raw, away from Rollins, and it was believed that this comment wasn't a storyline insult, but a very real comment by the Beast Slayer. Further investigations found that this heat reportedly stemmed from an Instagram post from Riddle's wife, who mocked Rollins' fiancée and other female superstars for being, quote, straight skinny jiggly fat. With that in mind, it turns out that Riddle's disdain for Rollins is older than that, as during the Survivor Series 2019 weekend, the original Bro constantly badmouthed the Architect, saying he's stale, he doesn't take care of his opponents in the ring, and how he hasn't evolved as a performer past his Shield days. Riddle is known for rubbing people the wrong way with his confrontational attitude, with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar also being names he's tried to cross. The difference with Rollins is that he and Riddle are ironing out their differences, and if they do end up on the same show, an entertaining feud that includes some real-life material would make for an excellent watch. Over to All Elite Wrestling, and the company is eager on signing one of wrestling's hottest free agents. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was noted that there's a pull within the company to bring in Tessa Blanchard, who was released from Impact last year during her World Championship reign. With that in mind, there's also some pushback on the subject, considering the bullying and racism allegations against her, and the company's policy against that behavior in the past. AEW has a women's division that could do without Blanchard, who does have experience with the company, as she worked the All In event that was largely responsible for the genesis of AEW. Whether she ever makes it to AEW remains to be seen, and though she'd be an excellent talent, the rumors, baggage, and her reputation could be a real hurdle. Speaking of AEW, Jim Ross was with WWE for decades before coming to the All Elite promotion, and he knows firsthand about how Vince McMahon has the final say on all his broadcasts. This week's Grillin' JR podcast focused on the January 7th, 2008 Raw, and JR spoke about how he took great pride to hear his voice in the intro video for the show, noting, "I took that as a great source of pride when some of my bites were featured in those open. I thought it was pretty cool, so it was a source of pride for me. When it got changed, when I got eliminated from it, it hurt my feelings, egocentrically. I wanted to be part of the open." Nowadays, WWE used images of various superstars and legends in their then-now forever intro before a video package of the superstars of that particular brand. This can get confusing as The Search by NF is used for Raw's theme currently, and although Drew McIntyre is the WWE Champion, it's Randy Orton who gets the final spot in the introduction. When AC/DC's Are You Ready opens Smackdown, it's Universal Champion Roman Reigns who gets that coveted final spot, and unsurprisingly, Jim Ross is nowhere to be seen in any video packages. It's no secret that JR's with AEW, but he hasn't cut ties with WWE completely. As part of the WWE documentaries with A&E that are in the works, JR was interviewed for a number of shows, and though he's an AEW employee now, we'll have to see what the legendary commentator has to say about his time in Vince McMahon's company. More from AEW next, as the company is continuing forward after the tragic passing of Brodie Lee, who died aged 41 of a lung disease. Although Lee's passing was a shock to all fans, the company did reportedly know about it in advance, as according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, strings were pulled to get him into the Mayo Clinic on October 31st. It's reported that they knew at the time that Lee's condition was grim, and that on November 7th, Amanda Huber, Lee's wife, told AEW about his condition, although all the key people that worked with him already knew. It's impressive that AEW was able to keep this story quiet, and it goes to show just how much respect the company had for the former TNT champion, especially as he was in such a bad way that he didn't qualify for a lung transplant. Following his father's death, AEW have tried to console Brodie Lee Jr., even signing him to a contract, but he has a lot of time before this is official. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it's noted that this contract cannot be executed until his 18th birthday, and that's only if Brodie Jr., who's 8, chooses to go into wrestling. It's also reported that his promo on Marco's stunt on Dark was written by Brodie himself, and though this isn't setting up for a match, who knows what the landscape of AEW will be like in a decade. Now, as the leader of Retribution, Mustafa Ali has had a lot to say, but after he berated the Legends on Raw Talk where he discussed Retribution being snubbed, we may have heard the last of him. On Twitter, Ali shared a photo from his Raw Talk promo with a quote seemingly from the company telling him they can't give him a live mic again. Much of what Ali said resonated with fans, as a lot of modern-day superstars were snubbed for the brief, unnecessary cameos. And whilst WWE are telling Ali that he can't be trusted with a live mic, the Retribution leader clearly feels very differently. WWE Network news, and despite a population of 1.3 billion people, the company's streaming service is no longer available in India. Those fans who had the network received a message saying their subscriptions wouldn't be renewed and that WWE content will only be available via Sony Live and other Sony channels from now on. NXT now, as the Black and Gold brand, may soon be adding Jay White to the roster. After his loss to Kota Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom 15 Night 2, White said he's done with New Japan. And with rumors that he isn't going to extend his contract, which ends this month, the belief is that WWE are making a strong play to sign him. The Super J cast also reported that there's a 50-50 chance whether he'll stay with New Japan or go to WWE, so don't be too surprised to see him make his shocking debut when the time is right. One person who knows all about making their name is Sasha Banks, who had an incredible 2020. And according to Sports Illustrated, there's no wrestler who did better over the past 12 months. In their annual Top 10 list, Sports Illustrated named the reigning Smackdown Women's Champion as their top wrestler of last year, with AEW's Jon Moxley taking silver and reigning WWE Champion Drew McIntyre in third place. And we're ending today with Sonya Deville, who returned last week on SmackDown and already has a new role. It appears that Deville has taken on the role of Adam Pearce's assistant, and it wasn't specified if she was a face or a heel, though her last two SmackDown appearances suggested it's the latter. It'll be interesting to see how Deville does in the role, especially as she could be involved in the Universal title feud that'll see Adam Pearce compete at the Royal Rumble, and we're pleased to see Deville have a story sorted so quickly after her return.